believe it or not, Nick Fuentes is blowing up. And I don't think it's because Charlie Kirk has passed away. I just think that it is more commonplace for white nationalism to get a lot of shine. And it's been happening especially since the rise of Rumble and the rise of X. And Nick Fuentes is most notably known for talking about the Jews, but he is a racist. And so he will talk about blacks every now and then, not as much as he deals with geopolitics, but every now and then he'll address it. And he's on this particular podcast and he's talking about what should happen to blacks.
All right, so let's get serious. So what is the solution to the black problem in America?
I think it's like we talked about earlier. You got to enforce the laws, but here's the problem is as long as there are racial differences, which I do believe there are, you're going to have these persistent inequalities. They're just not going to achieve at the same level. And you can kind of tell them over and over again, well, it's a level playing field. It's fair. If you wind up with less, that's just a game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That will never satisfy them. You know, if you're persistently poor, have less income, less wealth, less jobs, less education, less power, and they're telling you, well, you deserve that. That's the market, or that's just, that's what you've earned. It's creating the situation we have now where it creates malicious envy. And they start to say, well, we want power. We want stuff. We want what you have. And I don't know what the answer to that is. That's a very difficult problem. I think that, they're trying to solve this with this colorblind meritocracy argument you hear now, where they say, well, we'll just let the chips fall where they may. Yeah, you try that. But again, over generations, people are unequal. They start to get angry about it. And then they start to express that rage in identity politics. And they start to say, we're coming to get what's ours. We want more. We don't care if we have less because it's fair or it's not fair. We want a bigger share of the pie. We're coming to take it. And this is that's where we are in America.
So in this particular instance, Nick Fuentes is saying something that maybe a lot of white people on the moderate right or extreme right feel. No matter how much blacks get, if it's not the same as what whites have, they're going to feel like, they're owed something. So they're trying to solve this black problem, right? Before it gets out of hand. And it's not uncommon for somebody on the white right to do this. And then you hear his particular podcast buddy say this.
That the reason they're suffering, all their problems come from white people. And so they have a bad day. They get pulled over because their registration isn't up to date. Mm-hmm. And it's because of white people. And eventually the dumber ones are going to go and just start shooting pretty white girls. Mm-hmm. Because of this deep-seated animosity that white people have helped them foster. And it seems like, judging from New York, this is going to sound super racist. And by the way, when I started this question, there's a lot of black people saying, what are we going to do about the black problem?
Right.
So I'm talking about a particular thing within that group. But there's certain type of blacks who are violent, who just don't do well with flattery. Mm. And I've seen this with my black friends, like at my boxing gym, when I say, you're amazing, man. You're a phenom. Instead of them doing what white people would do, is just be like, well, I just work hard and I got good cardio and I train a lot. They just go, that's right, man. I could kill anyone. I could f anyone in this room. And I'm like, yeah.
You need to talk about a bleep the black. Just either you can bleep out ghetto or black, but not both. So he says here that he's tired of coming in contact with some of these ghetto. Okay, he talks about in a particular way how he came across a guy who works out at his gym. The guy is, very, very conceited, very stuck up, and he doesn't like the guy. All right. And this is a black problem. And, in other words, blacks don't want to work hard. Blacks are lazy. They don't want to achieve. Okay. And then it tied me to another video in which I saw some time ago.
All right. So every time I come to an area that's nice, the thing that they have in common is that there are like no black people around. And I am dead serious about that. And I know that people are not going to like me. You're going to be talking crap about it, whatever. This is the reality of the situation. I'm in Boston for work right now. I'm at the waterfront or seaport or whatever it is. And I was just walking around. It's nice. It obviously looks expensive. There's nice restaurants. Everybody's just chilling, like families. Just everybody is acting normal. And I'm just like, oh my God, there are like no black people here. And when I mean no black people, I mean none, all right? Like, I'm the only one that I've seen that's not like some kind of employee, right? And then there are the people that are here from out of town for the conference that I'm here for. And it really does remind me, like, it makes me think of, well, why is Miami Beach so chill? Why is Miami Beach so quiet? Again, there are no black people.
So what happens is that you get two white guys who are trying to decide the fate of black Americans. And then you get another black American guy who randomly said that really, really nice areas, really, really nice places, you can't find worthwhile blacks. Okay, that's ultimately what the person is saying. And I want to address it because I believe that you need to deal with it. Number one, this commentary from somebody like Nick Fuentes, it's the beginning of a new day, and blacks should be very concerned. Especially blacks who believe that we are owed something from the government. The more I hear a lot of these guys come out and get more popular, it's really bringing my mind to believe one thing. We have to do as much as we can to unite soon. We really have to do so, because now these guys are getting so much clout, so much respect. Some of these guys are going to get monetized back onto YouTube, all right? These guys like Nick Fuentes, they got banned before. Now they're coming back, and I'm going to tell you why they're coming back. It's because of their ginormous fan bases and taking that money to Rumble or any other platform. And you have a lot of people who believe in this stuff. And I'm a registered Republican, but the more Republicans, let's say if JD Vance would have to win, you're going to see a president like him catering more openly to the Groypers. And that's going to not look good. Blacks, more than any time, we are going to have to understand each other. We're going to have to create more opportunities for each other. And if we do not, we're going to be in a whole bunch of trouble. And the reason why I played that clip for the quote unquote, if you will, because what you're going to understand is people also are tired of blacks asking for more. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve it, because we all do deserve it. But people fundamentally are getting tired of that. People do not think, especially in 2025, that they owe you anything, that you're the reason that they must suffer because they need to bring you up. And some of these, liberal things like, getting free healthcare, getting free food, getting free housing, it's typically not going to work. Okay. What's happening right now is a lot of whites and non-blacks are just really showing their discouragement and belief in the system, and they don't think they can get anywhere else. All right. And blacks are going to have to understand that this is going to get worse. These guys are already going to be on Spotify. They're going to be the new normal. White oppression towards blacks are going to be the new normal. And it really wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered who won the presidency. X would have still been able to produce a lot of this content. You have people who are still loyal to X, Y, and Z. So it just really wouldn't matter at this point. And what does matter is we got to see this for what it is, okay? Nobody wants to just give out opportunities because you're black. That's going to be our job. We have the opportunity in Black America and even the larger diaspora, despite the fact that we have many problems, that we can, number one, feed ourselves. We can sell all the time to ourselves. We have unlimited supplies of money. If it's just in the black community, we have everything that we actually need. If you combine markets that emerge in like Africa or the Caribbean, if you're on your Pan-African type stuff, you literally have so much money that you can deal with in the world that you can create all your opportunities. Now, it's not going to be easy, and this is what we're fighting for, because it's not easy. And we have to fight for the right to be together, whether it's within the Black American community or more on a Pan-African level, because these white guys are fighting to be together, right? They are fighting to have their voices heard, and their voices are being heard on a major level, and they're gonna monetize how they feel about us. And it's almost like nothing that we can do about it, right? And by the time you get maybe a Democratic president, if you ever get one in the next 12 years, it's already too late. It's a cultural norm. And I can guarantee you, these are not the only groups of people who come together and talk about us. It just doesn't happen anywhere else, all right? And we just got to be mindful of that. We got to understand where we will be in this conversation in the next 5 to 10 years, like I said, guys, this kind of behavior is going to get worse. So, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Usher D. Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate for all you do. Turn the bell. We're out.